Hi guys, this is just a mega quick one to say that there's been some sad news in Norwich. A body has been found in the River Wensum. So it's very likely that that is Gaynor. I don't think there's anyone else missing. There we go. I think we're back. I don't know what's wrong with my internet over the last few days. It's gone insane. Hopefully you can hear me all right. So 15 minutes ago, Norfolk Police reported that police searching for missing Norwich woman Gaynor Lord can confirm a body has been found in the River Wensum. While the body hasn't been formally identified, Gaynor's family have been informed they continue to be supported by specially trained officers. So, yeah, I think it's her. They always obviously have to say the body hasn't been formally identified. It's just a puzzle. A real puzzle. I mean, I did a dead short video about an hour ago. There's a little snippet of information from Times Radio that I thought was interesting and kind of led me thinking that, yeah, she's in the river. Because she had a deep-seated connection with that park, according to people who know Gaynor, and she used to go there in her younger years. So 70s, 80s, 90s were mentioned, and that was a big bathing spot. So presumably young people would congregate there, maybe not so young people would congregate there, and probably splash about in the water. So whatever led her to leaving work an hour and a quarter early and dashing off to the cathedral, we may never know. We may never know. And why she took her clothes off, we may never know. Unless a note's found somewhere. We may never know. But at least it's not going to drag on and drag on and drag on. And, you know, the conspiracy theories have already started. So I'm glad this puts an end to that. It's incredibly sad, though. It's not the news anybody wanted. You know, deep down, I wanted her to have run away somewhere. Rarely, though, does that happen. Very rarely. It's most often the simplest explanation. But in this case, as I've kept saying over the last few days, it's the taking the clothes off that confused me. Had she really gone for a swim? Like, for whatever reason, maybe didn't feel herself, or I don't know, and had gone for a swim. That link with the park, link with bathing in her younger years, was a thing that concerned me a lot. So I'm just going to have a quick look to see what people are saying over on Twitter. Okay, so body recovered. Oh, dear me. What are we looking at there? What are we actually looking at there? Don't know, but I'm going to save that picture so I can look at it later. Wondering whether the police are going to give a statement. Two members of the police dive team could be seen recovering the body from the river in Norwich after marking the area of water with an orange buoy. Previous searches have focused on the river close to Wensum Park, where a member of the... Okay. So I wonder how far the body had gone. I'm always curious about these things. So that doesn't look like Parkland, does it? Okay, so in a statement, police searching for missing Norwich woman Gaynor Lord can confirm a body has been found in the river by underwater search teams this morning, has now been recovered from the water, while the body hasn't formally been identified, so it's all the same stuff. So more details will be posted shortly. You can't see that, can you? So that's from Sky News. Oh, but was it really necessary for your reporter to keep going on about the body bag while reporting? Well, I think it's probably a little bit early to expect there to be... Was that a body getting pulled out? I think so, yeah. I think so. Why is Koberger trending? What's Koberger been up to? Oh, the house is going to be demolished. Okay. No, there isn't, Mark Williamson. There isn't terrible similarities. 2 women found in a river. There you go. I don't think you can see the actual body in that picture. So, I know there's got to be a mental health component to it, I think. I think there does. Yeah. I won't say that it's terribly common that someone does that. I don't know. I'm thinking manic episode, maybe. I don't really want to speculate too much on her mental health, but I think that's the most likely explanation. The way that she ran away, like she was going somewhere. She had something on her mind. She was going somewhere, and whatever she did in the cathedral, we'll probably never know. What led her to the park, other than a deep-seated connection with it in her younger years, we'll probably never know. Why she took her clothes off, we'll probably never know. But yeah, no foul play. I don't think there's any foul play at all. I mean, obviously, the next step is waiting for the autopsy. There'll be an inquest. And then that'll be that. I think some people who are manic will do things that they find exciting or that reminds them of adventures that they had once. And it does lead some people to jump in water. Reliving her youth before taking her life. I don't know that she was suicidal, though. I don't know. Just woke up, what's happening? A body has been found in Norwich in connection with Gaynor Lord. I'll find the Norfolk Police one. Norfolk. So police searching for missing Norwich woman Gaynor Lord can confirm a body has been found in the River Wensum. While the body hasn't been formally identified, Gaynor's family has been informed. They continue to be supported by specially trained officers. So that's the latest from 20. Oh, you can't see that, can you? I hate having all these tabs open. I'm going to close all my other tabs. So yeah, that was from Norfolk Police half an hour ago. Hopefully they don't blame it on the menopause like Nicola. Yeah. I think given the furore about that in relation to Nicola Bulley, I think they're going to be very, very cautious in saying anything about her mental health or about the menopause, definitely. Statistically, more people, unfortunately, commit suicide at Christmas time, more than any other time of year. No towel, very odd if she meant to swim that day. Well, if you're in some kind of manic state, you're not thinking clearly. So you're not thinking through, oh, when I've had my swim, I'm going to be wet. You're not thinking clearly. So maybe it was an impulse. It was something impulsive. And that's why the only thing I've wanted to know so far is what was her behaviour like at work? Was she more erratic than usual? Was she more scatterbrained than usual? Was she more hyper than usual? Was she more depressed than usual? Yeah. Yeah. People who are bipolar, whether they're diagnosed or not, can quickly switch into a mania, or at least a hypomania. Yeah, but I think the police are going to be very careful about what they say, given Nicola Bulley. Yeah. I think there has to be a mental health component to this. It's the only question I've got, really. The only question I've got. A co-worker who Gaynor spoke to said, I feel a bit funny today. Ah, okay. What does funny mean, though? I don't think this was a planned event. I don't think she planned to go swimming that day. I think if she did enter the water with the aim of swimming, it was an impulsive act. And that's why she's not prepared for swimming, like towel and stuff. She just did something impulsive that she used to do in her younger life, led by some form of mental health event. I mean, I've no idea. That's an explanation that seems logical to me. Amanda Hanover. And maybe if she jumped in a manic episode, she didn't realise how cold it was going to be. And there is such a thing as cold water shock. That's what happened to Nicola Bulley. You were trying to contact me. Well, I've been out this morning and I just got in. I literally just got in and checked Twitter. Because I was listening to some like news reports about Gaynor, made a 5-minute video while I was out, just saying this is interesting. You know, it's interesting that she rang a friend at 2:15, but it's more interesting to me what the reporter from Times Radio said. I'll play it you if you've not seen my video from this morning. I'll play it you. I'll play it you right now. This was me from 1 hour ago. Let me know you can hear it. The search for Gaynor Lord in Norwich, in my country, the UK. Norwich is over the other side of the country, though. It's in the east, I'm in the west. But a week in, and I'm still flummoxed by this one, honestly. I really am. There's a few interesting snippets of information that's come out I've been picking up on this morning. So there's a friend of Gaynor's that Gaynor rang about 2:15. This woman called Julie. And at the same time, Julie had a phone call from a client. So she said, Gaynor, can I ring you back? And Gaynor said, yeah, but she seemed okay. And then when Julie tried to ring her back and contacted her on WhatsApp and said, I'm free now, Gaynor didn't get back in touch until about 4:15. And then Gaynor rang Julie. However, it seems like it's one of those pocket dials, you know, when you're walking along and you end up ringing the last person that you spoke to. Yeah, that.
But it's Gaynor. Where are you? And I said, I'm at home. And at the time, then my phone was ringing, and it was a client, and I wanted to take the call. I had to take the call, so I just said to Gaynor, "Sorry, Gaynor, I've got my phone's ringing, and can I call you back in about 2 minutes?" And she said yes. Around about 2 minutes later, I rang her back, and she didn't answer. So I rang her back again and left a message to say, "I'm sorry, I couldn't take your call." And then I messaged her on WhatsApp and said, just wrote, Gaynor, sorry, I couldn't take your call. If you want to ring me back, I'm free this afternoon. I wish I hadn't have answered that call. Really wish I hadn't have answered that call. And then she may have talked to me a bit more, or, you know, I might have found out the reason why she was calling me.
Police contacted Julie because she was the last person that Gaynor spoke to. And the cops are saying this morning that they don't think Gaynor met anyone physically. Well, we've seen the CCTV. We've seen her. She was on her own the whole time, right? So they don't think she met anyone physically, although they still don't know why she left work. I think the most important thing to get some kind of knowledge of is what her behaviour was like at work. I've said this multiple times now, that leaving an hour and a quarter early when she's seemingly okay when she spoke to, when she briefly spoke to Julie at 2:15, but we don't know what the nature of that call was. And Julie, you know, if you ever see this, don't beat yourself up. I mean, who would have known that anything like this would have happened? No one would have known. So I'd like to hear from the colleagues at work. I guess they may have been told not to speak to the media. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to. It's very intrusive on their lives, isn't it? Very upsetting. They're under no obligation to speak to anybody from the Great Unwashed, are they? I'm quite sure that the police have interviewed them and they're still none the wiser on why she left work. They don't... I don't know. But I will just say, because it's been mentioned in my comments, you know, Michelle, did you know that Gaynor was originally from Lancashire and she's got links to the Blackpool area where Nicola Bulley lived? Well, I know that her half-brother or stepbrother or somebody lives in the Blackpool area, but Nicola did not live in Blackpool, so there's that. And Nicola was originally from Essex. I don't know. It's easy to make links between things at a cursory level, but the motivations for why Gaynor left work is crucial here. And something else that I thought was really interesting, I think this was a reporter from Times Radio, and I'm really hanging on this one for the moment, that Wensum Park was somewhere that had kind of like a deep-seated connection for Gaynor.
As I've spoken to police over the last few days, at least 30 members of the public have come forward with information, but they're still appealing for more. Another bit of information I picked up speaking to people who know Gaynor is that park, Wensum Park, holds a strong connection in her memory. It used to be a very popular bathing site in the 70s, 80s and 90s, and Gaynor used to go there as a young girl. I've spoken to people she plays tennis with. She's a member of a local tennis club, and everyone I'm speaking to says she was very bubbly, very friendly, very attractive woman who people liked, and everyone very concerned and say her behaviour is out of character. And the police also say her behaviour is out of character as well.
In her younger years, she used to go bathing there. What does that mean? I don't know. This is just a quick one, but if anything develops later on, then I'll be back. Bye, folks. Hey, all. So that was me about 11 o'clock this morning. And I think that's the most important piece of information we've got so far as to what led her to the park. That if this was a mental health event of some kind, for whatever reason, she's been drawn to the park. She's been drawn there. I'd like to know why she went to the cathedral. Maybe it was to pray, maybe. Maybe she just liked it there. Maybe she just liked it there. You know, it's a beautiful place. Never been to Norwich. I've never been to Norwich Cathedral, but the cathedrals I have been in are beautiful. They're very spiritual places, even if you're not, a practicing Christian. They're really nice places. They're very, I don't know, they're very memorable. I've been to Lincoln Cathedral, York, Minster, St. Paul's Cathedral in London. That's huge. Probably been to others. It is very sad. It is very sad. Well, mental health services have been absolutely ravaged over the last, 15 years, 10, 15 years, ravaged. It's very difficult to get mental health support now, certainly on the NHS. So if you're struggling, you wait on a waiting list for therapy. And your doctor will try to help you. They will try to help you. They'll give you tablets, but they're not experts in mental health. So some people don't do well on antidepressants. And if you're bipolar, certain antidepressants make you worse. They send you into a manic. Oh, don't get me started. Do not get me started. It's awful. Awful. Yeah, some autistic kids are drawn to water. I think there is if you're in a manic episode, jumping in water, you'll find exhilarating. You'll do things in a manic that you wouldn't dream of doing any other time. It's the only explanation I've got at the moment. That's it. That's my sum total. It's my only explanation. Police now have some knowledge about why she left work. Do they? Because they didn't do this morning. Like I said, that was about 11 o'clock. It's now 13:07. Yeah. Yeah. They can do. I mean, often there's warning signs, but they're not signs that anybody would think are the beginnings of a psychotic episode, unless you've had them before, and then maybe your family are tuned in. But you wouldn't recognise it yourself. And that's why I want to know what she was like that day. Oh, what she was like that day. Well, it depends how, like, if you're in water for a week, it depends how well that device will keep working. Whether it's waterproof. You know, they say things are waterproof and then probably not waterproof when it's a week in water, and the charge would run out. Like if she was wearing a Fitbit or something. This one does feel a bit different, yeah. It does feel a bit different. It's the rushing off from work, rushing down the road, rushing to go to the cathedral, and then turning up in the park and taking her clothes off, or at least some of her clothes off, is very different to the Nicola Bulley situation. Yeah. Her daughter made a statement earlier this week, just basically saying, you know, I hope she comes home. But there might be things that they don't want to talk about, and that's their prerogative. It's a very, very difficult time for them. Someone did witness it, though. Someone did witness it. And who stayed right there. But no one remembers. Except seemingly me. What? Someone said it was a bathroom break on her way to the park. What, the cathedral was? She went terribly out of her way, though. It put like an extra half a mile on the journey. I plotted the journey out yesterday. So why go to the cathedral to go to the toilet? And why did she spend 34 minutes there? Like there's a 34-minute period where she was in the cathedral grounds and the police don't know what she was doing. I don't know. Don't know. The CCTV, the CCTV has tracked her entire route. So I don't really know that more CCTV would be helpful. We're the most surveilled country in the entirety of Europe. Hopefully, yeah. Yeah. That's very true. It's very true. Yeah, there'll be an autopsy. Yeah. So the body will be taken to a pathologist. The pathologist will perform the autopsy. The coroner will get the results. The coroner will open an inquest. Or, if there's at the autopsy signs of foul play, a criminal investigation will be opened. But I doubt very much that there's foul play involved in this. So the coroner will open an inquest, and then in a couple of months' time, they'll have the inquest, and the cause and manner of death will be released. That's how it works. There will be a full inquest, yeah. It does get very early, dark very early. It's dark by 5 p.m. It's going pretty dark by 4:30, honestly. And there are many questions, but the questions that we probably will never get answers to. What was on her mind that day? We'll probably never know. Yeah, there's a camera right next to. Right. I'm going to find that picture. The picture on my thumbnail. It's a picture on my thumbnail. That picture is her at work behind the counter of the gin stall, looking right up at the camera. So if anybody had approached her in a problematic way, they'll be able to see exactly who she spoke to. And there was nobody following her. There was nobody. She was on her own the entire time, all the way through the city. We've seen the CCTV. There's nobody with her. So I don't think it's a situation where foul play is involved. This picture is her at the gin stall. See, right behind the counter. Oh, she's coming out from behind the counter, I think. Oh, yeah, GPS device would have given her last known location, yeah. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. Presumably, if she didn't take them off, they were still on her. Panic attack. She doesn't look panicked, though, does she? On that picture, and that was shortly before she left. I mean, I guess a panic attack can come on pretty quickly. Yes, Willow. Thank you. Yes, Willow. Yeah, maybe. Well, I don't know what her faith was, but that's an Anglican cathedral. It's not a Roman Catholic. But I guess if you're a spiritual person, a cathedral would be, and you weren't feeling yourself, Might be somewhere you would go. Yeah, it was Anglican. Oh, I see. Yeah, CCTV towards waterways. Yeah. But we're a very rainy nation. You know, there's so many, you know, we're covered. You can't walk very far in the UK without coming across a waterway of some kind, whether it's a river, a brook, a stream, a creek, a lake, a pond. We're a very watery nation. So to have CCTV on every waterway, I mean, I don't know how feasible that would be. Yeah. It's horrible. It's horrible. And it can happen to anybody. Yeah, the taking off the rings is a very strange one, isn't it? I mean, the only explanation I could have for that, other than it being a mental health thing, would be if she was a wild swimmer and she knew her rings were a bit loose, she might take them off, knowing that her rings are a bit loose, but there's no indication that she was a wild swimmer, you know, that she did this regularly. Yeah, me too. Me too. No, she didn't strip at the cathedral. No, I'm not saying that. But she was at the cathedral for, well, 34 minutes. The police can't track her during the time that she was there. Yeah, there'll always be unanswered questions. Always. That's true as well. Yeah, maybe. Somewhere quiet to go and pray. I don't know. Yeah, that she used to. I don't know whether she has a current dog, but as I said on my live stream yesterday, it's probably the only green space in that part of the city. Like, there are other green spaces, but there's not many green spaces. It's very built up. So if you have a dog, that's going to be one of the places that you'll take your dog. Yeah. Overly happy. Yeah. So you're going into a manic. Yeah. And unless you're used to that kind of sign, you don't think anything of it. Why would you think there was anything wrong with someone who was happy? You don't, do you? Left their possession so they knew they were fine. Maybe. We don't know how far apart they were spaced, though. That's the thing. Like, the media has said, oh, they were scattered about, but we don't know how far away they were from each other. They might have been close by, but just not in a pile. I don't know. We won't know those kind of details until the inquest, and it will depend on how well documented the media decides to make of that inquest. So I think there'll be a lot of questions we will never know the answer to, honestly. Let's have a look, see if there's anything else that's come out from the police. Oh, there's a report here by the Sky News. Let's listen to this.
Yes, they've made it clear over the past few days that they were reasonably sure that that Gaynor Lord had ended up in the river Wensum. They thought she had made her way to the park and for some reason unexplained had gone into the river. So I think as the days progressed, and it's a week since she vanished, that there was perhaps a sense of inevitability. Police had virtually ruled out the possibility of a crime. They can't explain what happened to Gaynor, but sad news from the police themselves in the last half an hour. A very brief statement which said that police searching for missing Norwich woman Gaynor Lord can confirm a body has been found in the River Wensum. The body was found in the river by underwater search teams this morning and has now been recovered from the water. While the body hasn't formally been identified, Gaynor's family have been informed. They continue to be supported by specially trained officers. Now, we were here at 9 o'clock this morning and we watched the search teams preparing to begin another day's searching around the river within Wensum Park. This is about a mile and a half from the city centre. They weren't there for long. After about an hour, they packed up and we followed them along the river. So we went 200 or 300 yards back along the river towards the city centre, where it was quite clear that something had been discovered. There was a little orange buoy floating in the river, a marker that police had put in. And there was a boat of scan equipment, some operators who were moving around that area. They weren't there for long. A dive team turned up and we watched at around midday. One diver went into the river at the spot that had been marked. Other dive team members passed a body bag to that diver. At that point, our camera crews were asked to stop filming, so too 2 or 3 photographers with us. And it was clear that the body bag was removed, much heavier, of course, than when it went in. It seemed clear that there was a body inside it. And a number of police officers together managed to haul it up through some weeds onto the riverbank, where a white tent was erected, and then the body bag disappeared inside that tent. So very sad news. No formal identification, of course, at this stage, but we're not aware that there are other missing people in this area of Norwich. The search over the past 7 days was purely focused on the search for Gaynor Lord. So officers with her family, and we await formal identification, but I think everything indicates that the body of Gaynor Lord, barring formal identification, has now been recovered.
So 200 to 300 yards towards the city centre. So not gone far. They haven't made a formal identification because they'll have to wait for the autopsy for that. But the family's been informed. I think they know it's her. Yeah, but her jewellery wasn't taken. The rings were there in the park. So no, that can't be true. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, but normally, unless you're expecting it, unless you know that's a sign, you don't think anything of someone being happy. Maybe fake smile, maybe. I think it's more likely a manic episode. That's where I'm headed in my mind at the moment, but I don't know. It's taking the clothes off that leads me to believe that it's a manic. If you're depressed, you're not gonna do stuff. You're not gonna do something like that. You're just gonna jump. Very somber mood here around Wensum Park after police confirm a body has been found in the search. Oh, police due to talk to the press at 2 p.m. Half an hour. Half an hour. I've got to go back out though. I could stay till 2:30 at the very, very latest. And then I've got to go out. So I came back for something to eat and a nap. And it seems that I'm not going to do either. So we'll wait for the presser. I don't imagine that they're going to say very much though, to be honest. But we'll wait. So it looks like it's just outside of the park area. Let's have a look to see. Let's get a map up here. Okay. So it could be along this bit here. Because that's where the police were. So you've got the park entrance along here. And where all the police were standing, like at the beginning of the week, you could see that, whatever that is, ornamental thing. So they were around here. So that reporter from Sky News said it was 200 to 300 yards towards the city centre, so this way. And that would be downstream, so that makes sense. And it looked like there was like some trees, so it could be this side or it could be along here. I don't know whether you could see those apartments though. Maybe you could see them. I don't know. Not that it really matters. Just curious. Don't know about anything like that. Yeah, we'll never know. I don't think we'll ever know. Yeah, most probably. Dental records. Because bodies go underwater. So once air is out of your lungs, you sink. Clothes, depending on what clothes you're wearing, they can keep you slightly more buoyant. But obviously, in a moving waterway like a river, even if you're underwater, you're going to move. You don't sink like a stone to the bottom, like Peter Faulding said, in a moving body of water. But you will be underwater unless you'll be taken downstream, unless your body gets snagged on debris. Probably will come to a stop at some point once it gets snagged. And then, depending on the water temperature, and the water was cold, so it would take longer, bacterial buildup releases gases. And then once those gases reach a sufficient level, the body starts to float. Now, not all bodies float all the way up to the surface. It depends on the depth of the water, and it also it depends on a bunch of factors, but depth of water is one factor. So it doesn't necessarily mean you'll float, but you will become more buoyant. So you might move further. You might become unsnagged. But it doesn't sound like that had happened yet to this person. But in cold water, it can take like 2-3 weeks for gaseous buildup to be sufficient that you're going to become buoyant. So it's nothing to do with our waterways particularly. It's to do with the mechanics of what happens to a body in water. Yeah, she did. And that might be a problem. That might be the problem. Don't know. But a slip on that river, all things considered, you'd have a better chance of getting out at that river than in the River Wyre, because there's no steep banking. But it depends on whether she entered that water completely by accident or whether she did it on purpose. Yeah. And people who are, feeling exhilarated, think it's a fun thing to do, go and jump in water like without a care in the world, who's not used to wild swimming or cold water swimming, don't realise how cold it is. And it sends your body into shock very quickly. Possibly. Exhilaration, jumped in like she used to do in her younger years, didn't realise how cold it was and succumbed. I don't know. I don't know how deep it is either. Exactly. It sends you into shock very quickly. It sends you into cardiac arrest. I don't know. Maybe it was some kind of I don't know. Like, taking the rings off, taking the claws off generally it tells me that's not an accident. It tells me she did purposeful things before she entered the river. That's completely different motivation than Nicola Bulley, who did none of those things. So for me, on a steep embankment, I've been there. I nearly slipped down that embankment, right? And then a steep natural bank, Nicola Bulley slipped. That's the most logical explanation. Whereas with Gaynor, the purposeful taking off of clothing and taking off of rings is something that is very different motivationally. It leads me to believe that it wasn't a slip. It was she entered that water on purpose. Yeah, I've got low blood pressure. I have to do things to raise my blood pressure. Oh, that's a feint. Oh, I'll be fine. I've got enough body fat. I think I'll manage. I'll get something when I'm out anyway. I don't really know that wildlife would want to scatter her clothing. Like, there's not really very much wildlife in cities in the UK. Lots of foxes, urban foxes, squirrels. Those are the two main creatures that are around urban areas. They're not going to scatter your clothing. I mean, a fox might go and have a root around if there's anything in your pockets. You know, they're just like dogs. They're exactly like dogs. You know, they go and rummage around your bins and stuff. But they're not. I don't know. Could have been wind. In general, but in a moving body of water, the current and the rivers are high at the moment. All waterways are high at the moment, so the currents are stronger because we've had so much rain over the last few weeks, the last few months, really. A yoga teacher does cold water dipping. Maybe she thought it was a good idea then. Maybe she thought she'd give it a go. One of the news reporters just said that they were in a residential property on the river and could see what was going on, but didn't show any footage yet. So probably one of these then. One of these along here. One of these. These look like apartments or something. They'd get a good view, wouldn't they? So it could be along here. That area, maybe. So it's not too far. No. So she's not gone far. They haven't said, they won't give details like that out until probably the inquest. I mean, it's possible they will, but I don't know. It's possible they'll depend. Well, we're going to find out at 2 o'clock how much the police are prepared to say. But I will imagine that they're not going to answer too many questions. They'll wait for the autopsy. They'll wait for the autopsy. Autopsy report. It'll be done quickly. It'll either be done probably tomorrow. Report will go to the coroner. Preliminary report, not a full autopsy report, but preliminary report will go to the coroner. Because the coroner will want to establish if there's any signs of foul play, because if there is, then they'll kick it back to the police for a criminal investigation. But I'm expecting that there won't be, and the coroner will open an inquest, and it will follow exactly the same trajectory as Nicola Bulley. Although people just couldn't understand the role of the inquest in Nicola Bulley's case. I'm not going to try and explain all that again. How many videos did I make trying to explain the roles of an inquest? I made loads. Oh God, and people still couldn't get it. But yeah, so the inquest depends what the queue's like in Norwich. I've no idea. It might be 2 months, it might be 4 months, it might be longer. Depends what the queue's like. But they'll have an inquest, and the cause and manner of death will be released. And it depends on how well the media want to report on the inquest as to how many details we get from it. Yeah, that's along the lines I'm thinking. That's along the lines I'm thinking. But if it's true that a yoga teacher does cold water dipping, maybe she got it into her head that she'd give that a go. Went to the park in a little bit of a manic, thought it'd be a great idea, and didn't realise just how cold it is. Did she walk in or fall in? I think she walked in or jumped in. I do. Because there was purposeful things done immediately beforehand. I don't really know what happened to Matthew Perry in his jacuzzi. It's Matthew Perry Chandler from Friends. I know he died. I've not followed it though. I don't follow anything to do with celebrities. I don't care. Yeah, it is cold, yeah. I mean, why do you think so many people jump in lakes and rivers in summer? And some of them get into trouble. My brother-in-law's nephew drowned, sadly. Going for a swim in a lake in summer to cool down. Got into trouble. His friends were there. Friends couldn't get him out. And he drowned. I nearly drowned when I was 17 doing something stupid. Someone pulled me out. I was close enough to the edge that someone was able to grab me, pull me out. Horrible feeling. Really horrible feeling. And I don't know. It's not a natural lake, so there's like a shelf. I was kind of just like paddling about, and I stepped out, and it was deep. It was suddenly deep, and I hate water. I was panicked, and I seriously would have drowned very close to the edge had somebody not realised and pulled me out. It normally sends you into cardiac arrest. Yeah. Is there river monster catfish? Don't know. Maybe not. Not sure why someone would do yoga in the dusk. Well, because she wasn't herself and she wasn't thinking clearly. Maybe. Yeah, which makes me believe that it wasn't something that she did on the regular. She wasn't prepared for swimming, was she? You know, she wasn't. It was impulsive. A body has been found in Norwich, close to the park where Gaynor Lord was last seen. There's going to be the police are going to be speaking to the media at 2:00, so we're waiting for that. I'll show you. I'll just put up the Norwich police thing again for people just coming in. Police searching for missing Norwich woman Gaynor Lord can confirm a body has been found in the River Wensum. While the body hasn't been formally identified, Gaynor's family have been informed they continue to be supported by specially trained officers. So we heard that the police are going to speak to the media in about 10, what time is it? About 15 minutes. So I don't think they're going to say much. I don't think they're going to answer many questions. But I'll wait. I'll wait and see what they've got to say. You had a woman say she'd been in that part up to her knees where the tent was. She was panicked when her legs got wrapped up in reeds on the bottom. Well, maybe there's so much debris in that river, she got tangled and couldn't get out. I don't know. I don't know. You don't know what gets in people's minds. That's the thing. No, no one tried to rob her because her phone was still there and her rings were there. So if they were robbing her, well, they'd take them, wouldn't they? Yeah. They haven't made a formal identification. They won't formally identify until the autopsy's been completed, but there's no one else missing in that area. And the family have been informed, so that tells you a lot. Yeah, that's what I eat. I eat salt. If I don't eat salt, I don't like salt. I don't like the taste of salt, but I have to eat salt to keep my blood pressure up. Hedgehogs. Yeah, hedgehogs, yeah. We have hedgehogs. Well, I don't think I can keep an eye on them all, honestly. There's a lot of middle-aged women in the UK. We're an aging population. So I'm afraid I can't keep an eye on them all, or even any of them. They said it was tidal. What? There's not going to be no visible signs of her slipping in. What visible signs would there be? What visible signs would there be? It's a steep drop. It's a sheer drop down. There's going to be no signs of slipping in. People don't understand. You need to go there and have a look. You're not going to be no signs if you fall in the River Wire at the bench. Just go there and have a look. If you don't believe me. No, I mean, unless it's something that you used to doing, I don't think so either. Oh, I'm glad you're feeling well now. 4-week cold from hell. Don't like the thought of that. Wasn't COVID, was it? Why do you think she got in the... I've no idea. Mental health is the only thing I can imagine. Mental ill health of some kind. A fire truck was on the bridge further along, past residential properties where divers were changing clothing. There's no comparison with Nicola's case. I've done that video. Did that video yesterday. There's no comparison. Very different case. Motivationally speaking. Don't bother with the cursory oh, they're both blonde hair, they're both middle-aged, they both disappeared on a Friday nonsense. So where's the bridge? Where's the bridge? Oh, there's the bridge. Okay. So fire trucks were there. So it's somewhere between here and here. It's not far. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. We're waiting for a police to speak to the media. And they're not. We know they're not going to say very much. Yeah. Yeah. Found a body this morning. What was the link to what? I'm trying to reply and then losing track. I think cold water shock's an issue. I think cold water shock's going to feature heavily in why she got into trouble. I don't think she was in her right mind. So it getting dark probably wasn't something that occurred to her. I don't think she was forced to go into the water by someone, no. No. Lancashire police were asked by Norfolk police for their assistance because of their recent issue with the Nicola Bulley case, not because Gaynor was originally from Lancashire. Please, can I do a quick recap? Yes. So earlier this morning, police searching for missing Norwich woman Gaynor Lord can confirm a body has been found in the River Wensum. Body hasn't been formally identified because they've only just recovered the body from the river and there will be an autopsy. But Gaynor's family have been informed and they are being supported by specially trained officers. There is a briefing by the cops to the press at 2 o'clock, so in 6 minutes. So they're not going to say much. They're not going to answer many questions, but I'm going to sit here and wait to see what they have to say. So people just coming in. Do they baptise people in that river? I had no idea. I doubt it. It would be certainly not of the, the main, how would put it? The main strands of Christianity don't baptise people in rivers. They're usually very dirty, to be honest. So, no. It's just really sad. But thankfully this is, it's not gone on for weeks and weeks on end. At least the family have got an answer, however sad it is, just before Christmas as well. However sad it is, at least they can start to heal as best they can, and they've got Gaynor back, and they can lay her to rest. Yeah, I think I'm not sure that she went there to take her own life. I think she went there because she was exhilarated and not thinking clearly. Oh, what was the connection with the river? She had a deep-seated connection with the park and the river in that park because she went bathing there as a youngster. So that was what one reporter from Times Radio said this morning. I played the video that I made this morning. I made a little kind of very short 5-minute video this morning. But I played it earlier on in this live stream. I mean, it's still up on the channel, so you can watch that on its own, but it was before her body was found. We'll never know, will we? We'll never know. And Julie is going to beat herself up over that, and she shouldn't. She really shouldn't, because nobody can possibly imagine that just because you take another call and you say, can I call you back, that you're never going to see that person again and they're going to end up in a river. You never imagine that. Yeah, she might have been rushing to get communion or something at 3 p.m. in the cathedral. Well, if there's a communion at 3 p.m, maybe that's where she went. But the police don't know what she did in those 34 minutes. If she'd gone for communion, someone would have seen her. Like the priest would have seen her. I've no idea. I don't know. I mean, if she did, the toxicology report would say so. All right, looking for this briefing now by the police, because it's coming up soon. Let's have a see if... Is Sky News going to have it? Sky News. I bet BBC, are they going to have it? Nope. Huh. Don't know. The autopsy report is gonna say so, isn't it? Yeah, there's awful comments. So where's this briefing then? Norfolk Police. Norfolk Police. So Norfolk Police haven't updated their website. Still got that from yesterday. A body has been recovered from the River Wensum, which is presumed to be Gaynor Lord. But the police are briefing the press right now. So I don't know where that will be at. Like what news channel will have it. So if anybody knows, I don't watch TV, you see, so I don't know what goes on. BBC Norwich. Don't know. I just want to listen to the briefing by the police. Just want to listen. How annoying. I always get in these situations. Oh, here we go. Got it. All right. Police update on missing Gaynor Lord. 5 minutes. They're pushing it back. I've got to leave. They better be on time. It's on Sky News now, is it? Hold on. Sky News. Is it? Watch EU News. Watch Israel Hamas latest. Track the impact of global warming. Where's it at on Sky News? What, the police are on Sky News right now? Oh, BBC says press release delayed until 2:30. No. 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 I've got to leave. Do you know what? Look at the Truro case. A boy fell from a multi-storey car park. No, I haven't heard that one. I haven't heard that one. I do have mods, but why? But highlighting comments isn't something that... There's no mention of a press release on Sky News. Well, there is a press release coming. They did say that they were going to brief the press at 2 o'clock. Obviously, they're pushing that back. But this is the Mirror on YouTube. The Mirror, who say that they're going to have a live in 3 minutes. What do you mean your comment was highlighted, but it didn't discuss it? Don't really know what you mean by that. I know it's a horrible time of year to lose anybody, but the circumstances are just horrible. Really horrible. Why is there only 8 waiting? There's only 8 waiting for this presser. But I am going to have to go. Like 2:30 at the latest, I've got to go. So it's one of them. Oh, we're now waiting. We're now waiting for the mirror. Mass is usually 30 minutes, so the theory of running to get there could fit being there for 30 minutes. Well, let's have a look. Norwich Cathedral. Worship. So, Holy Communion. So, Holy Communion is 8 a.m. or 10:30 on Sundays. And then Evensong, whatever that is 3:30 on Sundays and some Saturdays and 5:30 Monday to Friday. So no, she didn't go for Holy Communion. Because it wasn't at that time. On Sundays, our 10:30 a.m. sung Eucharist and 3:30 p.m. Evensong are usually live streamed. Cool. During term time, Evensong is also usually live streamed at 5 o'clock, 5:30. So no, there was no Holy Communion at the time she was there. So that theory isn't true. Good theory, but it's not true. The cathedral doesn't have communion at that time. Yeah, be patient. I mean, I'm getting through more comments than I usually do because we're waiting for this. Oh, they've changed it now to 7 minutes. So I'm reading more comments than I usually get to because I'm just sitting here waiting. But unfortunately, I am going to have to go shortly. So there's that. I'm not sure that you can make appointments. I mean, I don't know. Don't quote me on it, but I'm not sure that's something that they do at cathedrals. Yeah, sad. They found a body this morning. No, they don't take confessions. It's Anglican. So they don't do confessions. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Do you know where you can watch the live press conference? Here. We're waiting for it. Right here. But I'm going to have to leave, like, soon. So if they don't hurry up, then it was meant to start at 2, but they've pushed it back. So this is on the Mirror. And we're now waiting for 2:20. I do have to go, yeah. I do have to go very soon. Apparently more people take their own life like around holiday times. That's, I don't know how true it is. I don't know whether there's actual statistics on it. It feels true. It feels like that would be the case. But I don't know whether it's the case in this instance. Well, apparently she was into yoga, but I don't know how heavily invested in it she was. I've no idea. Don't know anything really about her life other than the little bits and pieces that have been coming out. Well, you're not going to take your phone into the water, are you? And you're not going to take your rings off unless you think they might fall off. Like if they were a little bit big, maybe. I don't know. I honestly don't know. They do have a phone, yeah. A phone was found with her belongings. No, I'm not going to come back and do a video later. We've got 478 people in chat, so I'll hang on. Hopefully, it's not going to be too much longer. I've got too many tabs open. Hold on a minute. Get some of them. Just going to go in the other room and get my can of pop because I really need a drink. I'll be a second. There we go. I'm back. Yeah. Yoga pose caught woman's attention, then she waited until no one was around. It kind of looks that way, doesn't it? Kind of. Yeah, that's the line I'm thinking at, to be honest. It makes sense to me. It's one explanation that is kind of at the forefront of my mind. Yeah. We don't know anything about her mental health status. So don't know, I can't answer that. Dear me, yeah. Only 141 likes. That's terrible. Terrible. It is very easy to drown, yeah. Cold water shock gives you a cardiac arrest. And your body doesn't have time to go into hypothermia because you go into cardiac arrest. And that can be very quick. So we're now waiting for the mirror yet again. I bet they change it. I bet they change it. Come on. Come on. Oh, dear. Oh, 259 likes now. That's what I like to see. Yeah, I played a little clip from someone on Sky News earlier, and they told them to stop filming. Likes gone up to 270 now. That's good. Yeah, we won't know anything. They won't tell us anything in this little presser. Don't know why I'm even waiting. See if Norfolk Police have put anything on. No. Got an interesting photo there. Are we still waiting? We're still waiting. Oh, we've got a picture. Got a picture.
Stand. You can stand here. Whoa.
Don't fall off there, you clown, on live TV.
Mate, I'm in the way.
That would be a bit stupid, wouldn't it?
Hey, officer, can we get past that? What? Do they still taunt you?
Thank you, daughter of Scotland. Thank you so much. Very kind. Thank you, thank you. Where are they even at? Like, what is that place?
Maybe. Well, look, I'll stand here. It's compromise. I should be in the shot, really. Joking.
I know. It's like they've set those microphones up very precariously close to the edge of whatever that is, so they don't lean back. That's the park, is it? Yeah, but what's this? What like building is this? I've never been to Norwich, so forgive me, guys. What's this building that they're at? There's always one plonker. There is. There is. Well, as soon as this is over, I'm going to literally be dashing out the door.
Lovely day just to be stood here.
Literally be dashing out the door. I can't imagine it's going to be long. It's not. They're not going to.
Strategically positioned.
They're not going to say very much. Oh, when you enter the park, there's a balcony and steps going down. All right, okay, so it could be in the park. Somebody's microphone isn't working. The sound's gone off now. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we say pop. Yeah. We always say pop. We very rarely say soda. Like soda water is a drink. It's like fizzy water. So you can say soda water. Or you can get this machine called a soda stream, which makes pop. So it was kind of like popular in the 1980s to have a soda stream and make your own pop. And then you could call it soda because it was made by a soda stream. So, but no, it's just pop. What is that dude doing? What is he doing? Selfieing himself now? Does he realise the camera's on? Does he realise the camera's on? What an idiot. Thank you, Helen. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much for the £10. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, yeah. Trying to get famous. Wonder even who it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm still doing. Yeah.
I did hear about Alex. Yeah, I did.
Oh, right, okay. I've already been warned that might be in one drive there.
That's good. Yeah.
Could give them a bit more. I seem to have evaded everybody. I've also been walking around for the last few days.
Hey.
Yeah.
It's because you look well doggy.
Yeah,
Everyone's
well,
avoiding you. You're not from these parts.
No, I work for the Daily Press.
Oh, there you go. Oh.
Where do you work?
Steve.
No, right. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Carl Geezer's like this roadman in the north. Interesting.
Probably an email. Probably. Yeah. It's been a bit turbulent. Yeah, you're probably exited a very good time. I saw Jason the other day in the tube. Jason Horton. Oh, right, okay. He's probably asking you.
It does look like a lovely park. It reminds me a bit of Avenham Park in Preston, near here. That's like a long, thin park in the middle of the city, like the runs down the river. Very similar kind of setup to this. Who are these Muppets? Reporters. Reporters. I don't know whether any of them realise that the mics are on. Imagine if someone was caught admitting to an affair live on TV. Well, yeah, I like listening in on these. You know, they're just funny hot mic moments, aren't they? I reckon he's a media student. Probably. Who knows? Similar park in Chelmsford. Park along by the river. I think it was like Victorians built these parks to be like places where you could go and have a romp around out, like, and pretend they're in the countryside.
And Martin's just wandered off. Yeah, Martin's just wandered off.
Who's wandered off?
Go, yeah. Okay then, all right.
You don't wander off. Wander off. We're here waiting. I should be out the door by now. I'm still waiting for you guys. Just don't wander off. If you can't swearing. Yeah, me as well, yeah. The Victorians freak you out. Why? But yeah, it was the Victorians and the Edwardians who built a bunch of parks to pretend they were in the country.
You'd be like, damn, why have I been paying full price for this for so long?
Yeah.
Please don't go to parks alone, any rivers alone. I go everywhere on my own. It's unlikely I'm going to go to a city park, though, because I don't like cities. But I've not got a problem going to rivers on my own.
Well, you've got a car. You've got an office on
It's not expensive in paper. Oh. No.
You should know the mics are on because haven't they put them there? Like,
Yeah, they are.
those are mics brought to the place by the media companies. Well, surely they would know the mics were on. Maybe they just don't realise that their voices are being transmitted. Oh, and now it's gone off. Oh, and now it's frozen. Nice one. There we go, we're back. Are we? Yeah, we're back. Here we go. Here we go. Right, I'm going to mute out now. Turn the volume up.
Let me know when you're ready then.
We're ready. We're ready.
Yeah, no worries. Let me know.
No, we're ready. Please, we're ready.
Okay, thank you. Thanks everybody for coming today. Today, police specialist divers have found the body of a female in the River Wensum after a detailed and methodical search over the past few days. Whilst we establish her identity, our thoughts are with Gaynor's family at this difficult and distressing time. We have specialist family liaison officers supporting the family and keeping them updated with what we are doing at all stages. We remain open-minded to the circumstances of Gaynor's disappearance and will continue to pursue all lines of inquiry to ascertain why she went missing. I'm keen to say that this remains a missing person inquiry at this stage. I'm also satisfied at the moment, based on the evidence that we have, that Gaynor did not meet anybody on the way to the park, and we now have a better understanding of her movements through the city centre. Whilst this is not the outcome we wished for, our search is always predominantly focused on the river and the park. We will now need to complete a post-mortem examination to establish means of death. But I would reiterate at this stage that there is no evidence of third-party involvement. Nothing in our inquiries have changed this position. I would like to thank the media and the public for their continued support during this difficult and challenging time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Seriously? Was that it? Seriously? Okay. When I said it would be brief, I didn't quite know it was going to be that brief. Now they're still chatting. All right. All right, guys. I'm seriously going to have to go, though. I was meant to be out the door at past, very latest. So I'm going to have to run now. Yeah. They're not going to tell us anything. So wait for the autopsy, see what comes out. And yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back very soon. So thank you all. Thank you as always to the mods. Thank you for the donations. And I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.